Nappa took the hit and paid the price. Ah, that's bad news bears, Vegeta. Hey guys, MasakoX here. We are back with the next part, the next full part, save for our little trip down memory lane in regards to future Nappa previously, of a tale of a Saiyan, who was the right-hand man of the Prince of all Saiyans. They had seemed to be the perfect couple when it came to representing the last of the Saiyan elites. However, in the original canon, he, like his comrade Raditz, were cut down in their prime and failed to make an impact like their master then went on to do. But today, we are telling the tale of a time where his spirit got to live on thanks to Goku being the merciful one and go on to do great things and plant great things as well. This story is about the time when Nappa turned good. Haverock and I have been loving the adventure of Nappa as he went from the minion / carer of Prince Vegeta to discarded lackey in need of a job to now a fully realized person with no need to prove anything to anyone. Over the years, he had managed to carve out a niche for himself, become the best uncle ever with the likes of Gohan and Goten attesting to that, and now in later outings, even begin to focus on his own happiness, and even find a spot of love here or there. And I'm not talking about the love that he has for his plants or anything. I'm talking about, you know, girlfriends. In the last part, Nappa had chosen to celebrate the victory over Golden King Cold and Frieza with tending to his garden once more, as Goku and Vegeta were busy gathering 2 more members for Team Universe 7 in their little beerish Champa tag team friendly match, or as friendly as it could be between those two. There he met a woman named Cafe, whom was a timid yet forward-thinking lady. She had been painting Nappa's garden in West City, something which really stood out amongst the cityscape, and hey, he managed to get a bit of a date out of it somehow. Now, today's sponsor would really suit Nappa down to the ground. Or more accurately, head. Nappa approves Dollar Shave Club. Actually, I get satisfaction from Dollar Shave Club too, as I shave at least twice a week and it can be pretty pricey to keep up this trend. I did try electric shavers. It didn't feel quite right for what I needed. Unfortunately, these guys ship internationally, Dollar Shave Club, but don't think that DSC just do razors. They produce all sorts of products to cater to making one all prim and proper. And you can try them out with this handy shave, shower or oral starter set for just one payment of $5. Choose which set is right for you. Now here's a set that will make any Saiyan whose name begins with N happy with the shave starter set, with an executive razor and 3 tester tubes of prep scrub, shave butter and post-shave dew. Ah yes, I feel glorious. Then there's the oral care starter set to get those teeth gleaming with Dollar Shave Club's own toothpaste and sturdy brush, because you know, Saiyans don't know their own strength. Sometimes, you know, they need something to grip onto. I use this one in particular. Very nice. Then to make you smell as good as you look, the shower starter set has trial-sized versions of their different cleansers and shampoo, which includes my favourite, citrus and Hawaiian ginger face cleanser. Ah, Vegeta! I smell like oranges on that one garlic junior minion. So yeah, have a try for yourself by going to dollarshaveclub.com/Masako and get your first starter set from that selection for just $5. Now you too can be prim and proper. When it came to dealing with Hit, Nappa's berserk powers that were unique to him were no match for the time skip ability, and Hit proved to be indeed unbeatable for the Saiyan bodyguard, and he was out of the ring. And that's where we're going to be rejoining things right now. Once the dust clears, Nappa lies there, defeated. Hit has easily dealt with him. If Super Saiyan Blue in the original was not enough to best Hit in the form of Vegeta, well, let's be honest, Super Saiyan Berserk was not even going to be coming close to doing any sort of lasting damage to Hit. This has left everybody worried and concerned. Goku didn't get as much of a good read on Hit than he did in the original timeline when Vegeta was sparring with Hit. So he's gonna have to be getting more creative when it gets to his turn to face off with the last of Universe 6. It's all come down to the wire now. Goku and his sons seem pretty worried, but the break between the fights so as to get everyone where they're supposed to be, also to then be hyping up the so-called main event, the strongest of Universe 7 versus the strongest of Universe 6, it allows the gang to figure out some kind of strategy so as to get the jump on Hit. Somehow. Meanwhile, Frost is busy being Frost and tries to steal the cube and all the riches that are contained within it. But he then gets stopped by Hit like in the original, and we all know how that goes. Hey, do you guys remember way back when that happened, and we all thought that Hit had actually offed Frost because he didn't wake up, I think, pretty much until the end of the arc. He didn't wake up for ages. It was one of the biggest questions that we had at the time. Man, Hit was so cool. He still kinda is. After some more deliberation, it is then decided that Goku will go first against Universe 6's assassin, hopefully without the need of Goten having to step into the fray, because he is the last person representing Universe 7, not necessarily the strongest. Goku is honest and says that if he can't beat Hit, then there is no way that Goten can, no matter how plucky the youngster is, nor how determined he is to avenge his Uncle Nappa. The time has come though, and Goku prepares himself to get ready for the match between himself and Universe 6's champion. The fight looks and feels pretty much the same as the original, with Goku and Hit eventually getting fed up with Beerus and Champa's feud. Things are beginning to get a bit troublesome for both of the challengers, and, you know, it's not really kind of helping the mood. So they then agree to settle this once and for all another time, but for now, there is a tournament to finish, so that they don't have to listen to these two numbskulls witter on anymore, you know? These two brothers, they're arguing about nothing. Goku powers up to Kaioken Blue times 10, but his body gets exhausted, as we know. But before he spasms out though, he jumps out of the ring, visibly worrying his sons. Wait, this wasn't part of the plan. Gohan is getting very notable flashbacks to the Cell games right about now. And Gohan, I think he would actually be just going, oh no, please don't tell me that you're about to do what I think you're about to do. Yes, indeed. Goku's plan has indeed changed. He'd originally hoped that Goten wouldn't have to raise a finger and really told him that, yeah, I'm not going to be putting my faith in you, Goten, you can't do this. But now Goku has done a complete 180 and now suddenly has total faith in Goten. But Goku, you forget that unlike Cell, Hit doesn't want you to do this. He just wants the money, or to just get Champa to leave him alone. Goten, after much thought, decides to take a chance, though Gohan is protesting. Gohan is reiterating Goku's hypocrisy, and do you remember what happened at the Cell games, Dad? Yeah, we got lucky then, but didn't you take my feelings into account? Think of Goten. He's like almost the same age as I was. What is this? And then Nappa joins in this too once he's regained consciousness. He is particularly nervous about Goten's safety, since the two of them are so close, but the youngest Saiyan knows that he has to take a chance. He can't just sit back or give up without at least trying to make some kind of a difference. He had been granted a spot on this team. This was a great honor to fight alongside his Uncle Nappa, and so he's going to be a team player, dang it. Well, this is just a great Saiyan then, Uncle Nappa. We work together. I'm gonna help however I can. Hit seems puzzled at this choice, that his opponent won't be the older son of Son Goku. You know, they can do that, since Gohan willingly withdrew. He could swap out for Goten, but instead, he has to deal with the youngest of the bunch. Goten walks onto the field and says nothing. He doesn't even look scared. But as soon as the match begins, Goten charges squarely at Hit and tries to attack him, but the assassin simply dodges the attack. You know, time skip. But Goten's lucky. Hit, in the meantime, has softened up a little bit after his invigorating fight with Goku, and doesn't want to be so forceful like he was with Nappa and, of course, his father. He is even offering up some advice to the child. No, not like that. You cannot be so brash. You've seen how I fight. You need to draw some conclusions. Goten is surprised at the fact that this guy is not trying to off him there and then, that Hit is trying to help him. And Champa, when he's seeing all this go down, he's furious at all of this. How dare this mook give the brat advice? This isn't what he tasked Hit to do, it's the opposite. Hey, you! You're supposed to fight these morons, not babysit them. Remember whose side you're on. Despite these protestations, Hit is not in the mood to listen to Champs anymore. Hit is feeling a little frisky. He's developing a rebellious streak, and much like Nappa's fight with Kaba, this encounter has become less of a traditional battle in the Dragon world, and more like it's a training session. He is teaching Goten how to detect his movements, whilst also throwing some punches. So it means that the young Saiyan could feel his power and get a sense of scale, and then compare the two. So if Goten can get a hit on Hit, he can get a hit on anyone. And it's thanks to the power of Super Saiyan Rage that the youngest Saiyan is even able to withstand the power of Hit. You know, even though Hit is actually holding back a considerable amount. If Goten didn't have this power, yeah, he'd have nothing. Hit is barely tapping into his time skip powers. He's like using a mere fraction of them, but he's not telling the boy that. In the end, even this has gotten a little boring for him, and he wants this whole farce to be over and done with. This is such a waste of time. Hit then proceeds to fake falling out of the ring like, "Oh no, I've fallen," which causes Champa to get red with anger, much like in the original. But before he's even able to unleash his fury, Zeno arrives, putting everyone in their respective places. As in the original, Whis and Vados are having way too much fun with this, especially when Zeno shakes hands with Goku. Watching the Saiyan pick the king of everything up and shaking him around like a stuffed animal, oh my goodness, that's the utmost heights of hilarity. The angels are trying their best to contain their laughter. Not everybody's laughing at this situation. Nappa is trying to warn Goku. "Look out, Kakarot! He may seem small, but the small guys are usually the worst. I mean, looks can be deceiving, you know. Believe me, I know." He glances in Vegeta's direction, who looks away in contempt. Everyone is in shock, dreading what might happen next, but Zeno just laughs this off.
"I like your friend," he says to Goku. "He's funny."
Universe 7 gets the Super Dragon Balls, Kaba says goodbye to Nappa, and while Goku asks Hit about fighting again, Goten decides to tack in and get a piece of the action.
"Hey, Mr. Hit, maybe next time when you fight with my dad, can we train again?"
Hit doesn't turn around, seemingly not acknowledging this at all, nor does he actually look back in any way. But he does stand there, and he does respond with a simple retort. "Maybe. Take care, young one." And so, just like in the original, Champa is amazed when Beerus does something unexpected, and it results in Universe 6 getting its Earth back after all. But after that, everyone decides to celebrate. Since there is no Monarcha, there is also no Planet Patofu Saga, or anything worth speaking of. I think this is going to upset so many of the fans of this series. We move towards the post-apocalyptic wasteland in the form of the Black Ark, or is it called the Future Nappa Ark? Either way, it's time to kick it up a gear. The battle-damaged Future Nappa is dodging some ki blasts while trying to respond with the same treatment. He manages to sneak into Future Bomber's laboratory. The two quickly exchange polite greetings despite the carnage going on outside. They gotta try and keep up some semblance of society. And then Nappa grabs her and escapes, whilst also taking fuel for the journey back in time. The two escape the ambush and try to get to the time machine. Meanwhile, on the present Earth, Goku and Goten are training together by doing the harvesting for the family plot of land, while Chi-Chi is allowing Nappa to coordinate them. Chi-Chi now doesn't really mind Nappa managing the boys, especially nowadays. In this time, she's gained some respect for Nappa on the account of his age. And, the Ox King always told Chi-Chi to respect her elders. It's a little bit assuming, but Nappa will take any reason for Chi-Chi to not be mad at him. He's had plenty of that over the years. "Uncle Nappa has done enough work during the years, boys. It's time that you contributed more to the household." She's also pleased that Nappa has seemingly found a girlfriend, and it wasn't some kind of Saiyan-like aggressor, like that launch person. Kafe to her was a wonderful woman, and Chi-Chi is encouraging Nappa to invite her over sometime, as Chi-Chi was the only one who Nappa actually mentioned his girlfriend to. "Hey, Chi-Chi, you're a woman. I got something to ask ya." Oh, Nappa, you weren't exactly the most tactful person out there. It's a good thing that Chi-Chi respects you more now. He has framed this whole scenario as a harvest celebration with his family, to make it not seem like it's another date or anything, just, casual social family activity. Well, needless to say, this is not what Kafe expected. Nonetheless, she did feel intrigued enough to come along, and when she sees the two boys working the fields, she is actually inspired to do her thing, and that is to make art. She starts painting Goku, Goten, and Gohan working the fields while Nappa is sitting on a sunbed next to her, and they spend time together just chatting about stuff. He tries to explain to her the whole thing about Saiyans and what they were like, as well as martial arts and other kind of things that he knows, with Kafe only now realizing that Nappa isn't just a storyteller after seeing everything going down. What he was saying was the truth. Chi-Chi is also doing her best to ensure that this relationship works out and stays the course, and comforts her, telling her that she'll get used to all the weirdness. I mean, she had. This relieves Nappa a ton, and he is sure that her artistic mind may find some kind of other inspiration in being around Saiyans. Nappa is now laughing and tells Kafe that even though they used to be pretty bad guys back in the day, The only ones that remain in existence now are decent guys. Well, except Vegeta, but, you know, he's getting there. Future Nappa and Bulma are almost at Capsule Corp, where they hope to kickstart the time machine and go back to the past to try and rescue their present. Future Bra is waiting for them too, but sadly, they have drawn the attention of their enemy. Someone who looks like Gohan, dressed in black, is smiling in an eerie manner. Future Nappa decides to give the women some time to prepare the machine for departure. Nappa loses his mechanical arm in the conflict, but is able to bury GOHAN Black under the pile of rubble. All of this buying them some time to get out of there. He tries to get to the time machine and go back for Bulma and Bra, but a key blast destroys the building. Nappa is forced to go to the past alone, not knowing what has happened to his friends. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Are you happy that Nappa has found a solid partner? What about future Nappa? Are you curious to see what will happen when the two Nappas meet once more? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!